Good morning and welcome to another video of Back to the Past. I am Blair. Today what I am doing is in preparation for insulation once the weather cools down, which hopefully in the next month or so it will. We are into early September now, but it's still been getting just hotter than a pistol, and it's been dry for the past month and a half now. But what I want to do to prepare for insulation is to block off any entrances between rafters at the top of the wall, block it off to insects, to rodents, and to birds. And I don't really want to do that with wood. I absolutely hate the looks of soffit vents, so I don't want to use those. I want to do something that looks a little more original. So what will happen is this side will be sided with a board and batten siding like everything else. And when I have solid pieces, I will side all the way to the underside of the roof decking, and then every third rafter I will put in a vent screen that I made and I bent with some hardware cloth, 1/4 inch hardware cloth, and some window screen, aluminum window screen. So what I've done so far is for every 2 out of 3 I bent some aluminum, and these will go in there just like that. And what I'm doing is I will measure and I will bend the second side. I've got the first side already bent. What this does is to give me something to nail or screw into that will go into the top plate here on the outside, and then on the inside I will have these flanges to be able to nail or screw into. I've got some 1/2 inch machine screws, or 1/2 inch sheet metal screws, that I will put into this to bond it to the roof also. And I used a 1/2 inch sheathing, which is actually a little over a 1/2 inch thick. So I've got 1/2 inch screws that don't even penetrate all the way through the deck, but it is enough to hold it in place. We'll take a closer look once I get a bunch of this done, but I'll go ahead and get started with cutting and bending and putting these in place. Again, I'll do 2 of these and then 1 vent, 2 of these and 1 vent, and such all the way to the end. I'm about 1/3 of the way finished on this side. I've already finished the other side of the building. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'll mark it to length, first of all. And I will square my marks. I have to come down 4 inches to be able to fit this under the rafters, and cut a 45-degree angle in my bend. And then I'll go ahead and trim that out, cut off the edges that I don't need or that are in the way. Trim everything to proper length. And I'm leaving about 1 1/4 inch flange on each side. And then because I have both the rafter, a 2x6 rafter, and a 2x4 ceiling joist coming together at this point, I've got to do a little bit of notching for that. I'll go ahead and bend this in place. I'll be right back with you. Okay, I have that one fitted into place. I'll go ahead and I'll stick in probably about 3 of the plastic cap roofing nails to hold it from the outside, and then the rest of the work on that will be done on the inside, with the exception of caulking. I am caulking all the way around it because I can't get an absolutely perfect fit. I can easily get a fit good enough to keep birds and mice out, but not insects. And on to the next one. I think what I'll do is I'll move the camera back and then we'll speed this up a little bit. All right, that finishes up the work on the outside with the exception of caulking. I'll have to caulk all the way around each of these. I'll do that here in a few minutes, but maybe we should first go ahead and take a look. We'll look both outside and inside to see what I've done. Okay, so the outside looks something like this. You can see the flashing nailed in place there. Some of them I got bigger gaps than others, but it's actually tight on the inside all the way around. I do want to caulk it just to be able to keep insects out. There is a vent screen, which I did every 3rd joist space, and then another piece of flashing. We'll go inside and take a look at what it appears in there. Okay, looking at things now on the inside, you can see every 3rd space is a vent. I got 3 or 4 sheet metal screws going up into the decking, and no, it does not go through the decking into the roof. And then I put a couple nails on each side just to be able to hold it in place and keep it rigid. So that should at the very least make it really, really challenging for any squirrels and bugs to get through. And the one last thing to do to be prepared for insulation, so far as venting goes anyway, is to add some insulation shields wherever there's a vent so that that won't get plugged up with insulation. So I've done that now too. There will be, you can't see real well, but up in this gable end there will be a fairly large gable vent, a 14 by 24 there. And then on the other end of the building, there's actually a thermostat there, and I don't know if you can see anything here or not, but there will also be a vent fan that blows out there. Either blows out or sucks in, I haven't decided which, but there will be a vent fan up there to create some circulation through the attic. And that should help a lot with summertime cooling. Now, as you can see, I won't be truly varmint proof upstairs until I actually get some drywall up and a door upstairs. The reason being that mice and pretty much anything smaller than a cat can get in below that barn door, and it'll be that way for quite some time. It's about a 4-inch space. I could do a little more backfill and get that down to maybe 2 inches or even 1 inch, but I don't know that I'll do that, and even that wouldn't keep things like mice out. I think by having all my eaves closed in, that once I get drywalled on this wall, on the closet wall, and get a door put in, then I'd be completely varmint proof. But for now, I think I'm greatly reduced and ready for insulation. I'll end this episode here saying thanks for joining me. Glad to have you with me. See you on the next one. Goodbye.